it's a privilege to be invited into people's homes, and we understand that, and we take that very seriously.
Do you feel it made you more compassionate?
I think it probably, yeah, like because like how compassionate are you? Or you feel bad when you see something awful happening. But what will you do something differently is probably the measure of whether you are more compassionate or not. And we try to do stuff differently because, you know, if we say our primary stakeholder in Paxana is the client, is the person, the older person, then we have to behave in a way that kind of respects that. So yeah, like I think we've been forced to and we want to be the measure of the industry we're in. We want to be leaders in that industry in technology. So we have to behave in a way that industry expects.
Yeah, and there's a big difference between sympathy and compassion.
Yeah, great. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And there's you can get into something and have sympathy because you feel okay, yeah. But as you delve into the research and do it more, that compassion comes in because that's how you sell it as well. It's really having the compassion
Well,
and the understanding, the deep understanding of how the person, your end user, is actually feeling.
well, when we see the impacts of
Mm.
understanding, and then you can go, okay, actually, this, we're doing some good here. Like for instance, like we've lots of different anecdotes and stories of customers who've helped and the impact it's made. But like what just last night we were on a call with the guys in Right at Home, and one of the owners in Ohio, for instance, came on and said, "Oh yeah, we had this customer who started with Paxana last August, and they, we weren't making any money out of it. We resold the service, and but like for the last 6 9 months we've been looking at this data and we've been talking to them about it, and just yesterday that person became a 24/7 case." And that's the kind of economics of it. What's really important to the business, in that they now have somebody that they're providing a lot of care to, but underneath that is somebody who they've been taking measurements from and understanding how their behaviors have changed in the last 9 months. And now they can make a huge impact because because we see the
You've
impact of
seen them,
care,
yeah, yeah.
and we know what it means for when you actually start delivering excellent care to people. And I couldn't have been prouder when that kind of stuff happens. And it's good, like it's good for their business, great. But the impact is, and there's one more person who's doing a better job at living well in their own home. That's one for us.
It's going to look. This is a conversation that every family has, and I'm sure our kids will have that same conversation. And the joke that's always said, be good to your kids because they'll pick the nursing home that they'll stick you in.
You're not
Uh,
wrong there.
and it's like when my mother, she had dementia and she had it for nearly 20 years. And when she went into, I don't know, Crinkin in Shankill in Dublin, I mean, she was there for, God, it must have been about 6 years or so
Fair,
in
fair
there.
play to her.
Yeah, but she ended up, not knowing who we were, and was ended up just being someone in a bed that couldn't communicate or anything. So it was the relief to see her go when at that point. But he's then, as I said, the population are aging, but people are now like I can remember someone who used to be trained as a nurse when the nuns used to train them. And in the 80s, if you were 60 and you had a condition, you were put into a dying ward
Right.
because that's what it was. And now, you know, 70 is the new 50
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we're
yeah.
evolving and we're getting better. So people do want, and there is a strain on the healthcare system. So the more people that actually can be monitored and stay in their homes is it beneficial to the system, but also a mindset for that person because this is where they grew up, these are where the memories are and everything as well. What are you learning from your data that the research that you have with people wearing this over a long period of time? What are you seeing now that you didn't recognize or see a couple of years ago?